Okay, Range Rover starter problem Mark II. After changing a new starter motor, which fixed it initially, or cleaning the contacts, it failed again. So I fitted a new starter motor, and that has lasted, I don't know, 3,000 miles, and it's gone again. I have now jumpered another starter wire from here. That is the wire which feeds from the relay, which is that one, I think. It feeds from that fuse through the contacts, through a circuit board over to there, and it goes down that wire to the starter motor solenoid. Now that's a bit of 2.5 mil, and they say, what I've heard, it goes to a 2.5 to a 4 mil, but I think it's a bit of 2.5 down the bottom, and I think it's dropping too many volts. I don't know why, I have no idea, but I've just spliced on 2 more lengths of 2.5 around there onto a crocodile clip like that. Then under the car, that wire was attached to there anyway, that's the original, and I put the crocodile clip onto that terminal with the 2 wires on the crocodile clip coming out and back up to the red wire at the top. I'll just show you again. So I had the 2 wires coming up here, twisted around there, crimped up with a clip. I had them twisted around there, just gripped up with an old clip. Those 2 wires went over the side of the car, underneath, and on the crocodile clip connected to that terminal. Now, with one wire, one extra 2.5 mil, this kind of size, it was a little bit hesitant. It would work and then it wouldn't, and it would and it wouldn't. So I put another 2.5. So in a set, I had 5 millimeters of wire area, and it was starting every time. Every press of the button, bang, in, worked every time. 5 out of 5. I took the clip off down on the starter motor, pressed the button, nothing, just a small click. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm now gonna solder. I've got a bit of 6 mil, and that I was gonna put 2.5s, but this, I've just measured it, and it works out, well, I got 7 millimeters area, but I reckon it's probably 6 mil. I can't see anything written on it. There's something written on it, but it doesn't say 6 millimeter. So I'm gonna splice that into there, solder it in, actually solder that. I'm probably gonna, I don't know, might not. I was gonna cut it, but I don't think I will. And then I could put some heat shrink on. Oh no, I can take that out of there, that clip out of there. That's easy. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I'll slide some heat shrink up over it and shrink it down, do a decent job. But I'm gonna solder that on there. And the other end's crimped. I've got to dig that out a second. The other end, I have crimped it in there. Now, the trouble is that hole, the screw is about, I think it's an M5. So that will go through there quite nicely. But this wire was a bit fat for this crimp. So what I did is I had found a tapered punch. And I put it in the hole and tapped it in, and it's just spread the crimp slightly, enough that I could get that wire in it, and then I've crimped it down. And I've just got a little bit protruding there, and the insulation goes in as far as there. That, I'm going to put Vaseline on here to seal it up, because that's pretty good. And I'm going to put that down the bottom, and I'm just going to literally run it and can't think where it was. From underneath, I can see where I'm going to run it. So, bum, 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 bum. Might have been down there somewhere. But it literally, I'm going to come out of here. Come out of here. I don't know, round here. I don't know. Then I'm going to do it. May have to put another hole with another grommet. Another little grommet in it or something. Cross that looks good, doesn't it? Don't think I'll do any wading, because I think water might get in. Oh well. Yeah. I'll come back to that, show you again. Hang on. I've elected to come up through a space there, which is virtually straight off the starter motor. But the wire needs to, you need to curve it back on itself so it doesn't go near the steering column. And then I want to put it up the back of these pipes, because it's kind of lending itself to the shape of the bodywork there. And I'm going to go up there, up underneath this rubber hose, or metal hose, whatever it is, plastic hose, up in there, where my finger is going, and up and around here. But to get it under there, I fed this wire down there with a loop on the end, and then when it poked out there, I used this wire with a hook to pull it up. So now I can tie my bigger cable onto the end of there and feed it down and pull it up. I've tied this end, I've just twisted it on, and I'd like to feed it and push at the same time. And that, oh, hang on a minute. Ah, it's coming up through the wrong bit. It's coming up the wrong side of that metal bracket. Ah, sod. Whilst doing this, I found the longest screw in England. It's down there. There, underneath the fucking fuse holder box. What a pathetic, stupid place to put it. Because I can only just get my hands in there, and they're very small. It is like ridiculous. I'm nearly about snapping it off. I'm going to rip it out and send it back to Land Rover and say, you pillocks. Who the hell? I suppose you've got to take the engine out first, so you can get that screw. I have managed to do it, because I don't care if it breaks. Because I don't care about putting it back. Because it's got the other two to keep it in. Who gives a shit? Stupid. Could you use one a bit longer? Really? It's only going through a plastic bracket that thick. What the hell is that for? Good God. Right, I'll pop the grommet in there, which is kind of in that area. And that lines up when the fuse box, when this is in, the cable will run underneath that one and go around here and onto there. Thank God I had this shitty little ratchet. And while I was down here, I had to take this cap off. And in there, I found someone's old bicycle chain. Can't see it now. Yeah. Yeah, there, look. That's a bicycle chain, that is. Yeah, there's an old bicycle in there. Anyway, put that back on before I drop something in there. Okay, so I've come up from down there. It's not going to focus. Yeah, on the chassis, comes up around, and it comes up there, and I've popped it behind those pipes. One zip tie there, up the back of there, through a grommet there, through one little grommet there. I'll come around there, and he's there. Now, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to solder, strip that off, twist it on there, and I'm going to solder that on there. This little plug and socket I found, you can take this cover off, this little cover, and that, is it that one or is it that one? One of these is a little tab and you press it with a screwdriver and you can pull that out. Yeah. That little tab there, a little bit there, press that in. It's in that bottom slot and it just pulls out. Then I can solder that on there, slip a bit of heat shrink on, sweat it down, stick it back together, job's done. Right, okay, so I twisted it around, put a little bit of flux on there and soldered it on. It's flowed right in, get a little bit of solder on there and it's melting. That takes the heat into the copper, and the more you get on, the more it starts to flow. Took a minute or two, well, not a minute, but you know. There, so I'm just going to put some heat shrink over that now, if that'll fit, and shrink it down. There, piece of heat shrink on it. How professional's that? There we go, just push that back in, goes click, press the socket in. I've bent that around a little bit so it fits. So that goes along there, round there at the grommet, down there. It's coming down from up there, zip tied on there, loops around, goes up underneath the, can't see it because it's too dark, but it goes on the terminal with the bolt. The same wire, I got the same wire on there, the original and the second one, and the little screw is just long enough to take the two crimps. So that should be it. Job done. Worked before, will it work now? Whoa, like a tab. Off. No sweat. Off. Brake pedal then button. Ahoy! Clunked. To be honest, I think it will do it for a bit because the solenoid contacts are arced up and dirty, so, but my god, that is so much more better. Yeah, it's virtually every time. It's brilliant. Before, it was virtually every time it wouldn't start. So, I have put an extra wire in. So, this is a Mark 3 2010 4.4 Range Rover. It is, I think it's that fuse goes into that relay, across there on the circuit board over to that red wire. And I've just run that red wire all the way down and put that onto the starter motor solenoid. Yeah. And without it, I'm not taking it off to prove it, but without it, it won't go. It just clicks. So the original wire, even though it's still there, I don't know, must be a bad joint. There must be something in it, and it's become high resistant. That's a bit of, like I said, about 6mm wire. Because I measured it up. I did run two 5mm, 2.5s, so that was about 5mm. And that worked pretty good. And that one seems to be working pretty good. Not too difficult. And if I have to, I'll change that so that, see how it goes. Thank Christ for that. There's a lid. Where's that go? There. Beautiful.